Mention kind of who we have here with us tonight because they're pretty awesome folks. I still remember going in to Tom Doherty, who's the CEO of Tor, founder and CEO of my publisher. And this was right after Gathering Storm came out and did really well, right? And everyone at Tor breathed an enormous sigh of relief because that could have been the biggest disaster in the history of fantasy, right? If we screwed up the Wheel of Time, wow, okay. So I remember going into it, and everybody was like in this stage of euphoria where it's all right. And that's when I said, hey, Tom, I want to do this cool fantasy series where I'm going to use lots of art. And I'm going to have these cool, beautiful end pages, and I'm going to have like all these maps and illustrations. And he's like, sure, whatever you want. Right? Go for it. And then later on, when we turned it in, he's like, did I agree to this? This is so expensive. I'm like, yep, you did. Gotcha. Because my vision for the Stormlight Archive all along was this idea of trying to meld art and fiction a little bit more than we commonly do. I think it's a shame that the only books we illustrate are kids' books, and they get illustrated really well, and it's awesome. But I'm like, why can't we have that too? And so we have art has been a part of the Stormlight Archive from the get-go. When I decided, I'm going to have an artist as one of the main characters, and we're going to include her art. And so we bring to these things, especially a lot of the artists who are involved in the books. And so we have Ben McSweeney here, who did, So he did sketchbook pages, and he's done a lot of the art. He's got some prints of his art out there for sale, and he is more than happy to sign your books. So Isaac, let's clap for Isaac. So Isaac is my art director, my good friend. He set me up on a blind date with my wife. So Isaac is like, oh, there's Oliver. Oliver, lift Oliver up high. We told a story about Oliver, who was Super Oliver for. Oh, he wants to come up. Okay, of course he does. Shy. You were Super Oliver for Halloween, and it's a character he made up, which is him. So there's Oliver. He said he wanted to come up and disco dance, but now he's being shy. So that's Oliver. He's still the cutest thing ever. Isaac in a minute, but Dallin, now that I've mentioned the other two, Dallin has to come up. Dallin, who is named after Dalinar. All of our kids have name puns, right? Like Dallin is named for Dallin H. Oaks and for Dalinar. And Joel is named for Joel the Prophet, but basically we just really like the name, so he's also named for Joel from Rhythmatist. And Oliver's named for James, Oliver, and me, or Oliver from the Wheel of Time. So they're all based off of characters and after people. So there they are. They're probably going to go home and go to bed after this is done. Yes, even you can't stay and go till like 5 a.m. You're on the 10. So Isaac, let's talk about Isaac. So Isaac is awesome. Isaac directed all this. He gets all the art together. I just kind of say, hey, Isaac, I want to do this goofy thing. Dallin, come on, man. What are you doing? Dallin, he's writing his name. Okay. Yeah, we'll let him write his name. He's very proud of it. Good job. So did all the maps and all the symbols, though Ben helped out on a few of those. Isaac will be sitting at the table with me signing all of your books. I just pass them to Isaac and he signs them. If you want the other artists, we would encourage you to go out and get your books signed by them out in the foyer and things like this, just so we keep the lines moving. So you can kind of go to whichever one has the smallest line and things like that at the moment. So we also have with us Howard Lyon, whose paintings are over there. Painted those end pages of the Heralds. Two of them, he did those two. I already bought those, so sorry. But Howard is awesome, and he agreed to do these paintings for us, which are gorgeous. And he's out here, he's selling prints, and he'll sign your books as well. And then we also have Miranda Meeks. Yay, Miranda! Are all still out of their booths, but Miranda did not only the cover to some of our ebooks, she did some of the interior art from Oathbringer, and she will be willing to sign your book as well. Am I right on all of that, Isaac? Yes. And then we have these things up here, which I guess we don't have a picture for Miranda up here, do we? But what we have are just some of our originals that I bought from the artist. So if you like originals, you can go look at them. Steve Argyle nicely came along, even though he doesn't have art in Oathbringer, but we should clap for him anyway. He did the end pages for the Mistborn Leatherbound. Which basically we use all of these things as excuses so that I can get a hold of cool artwork. So I would encourage you to go out and what they've told me they're going to do is they're going to call you up by groups of numbers. So the rest of you don't have to just like stand in line. You can go catch a place to read. You can go look around at the art. You can chat. You can do all these sorts of things. My sister is here. She's director of my charity foundation. She's right out that door. We can clap for her. She's awesome. She's got foreign editions of my books. For a small donation, you can just like grab one of the foreign editions as a keepsake or memento, or things like, ooh, you got one of the Japanese ones. There are not very many of those, so good work. She's also doing a raffle for charity. She's going to text the winners at 10:30 on that one. We also have Kalyani, who appears in Legion. She's a friend of mine. She's doing henna, which is the kind of the painting tattoo things. That's also for charity, going through Lightweaver. We're supporting the Provo Foods Coalition. Yeah, with food. All right, I think that, we also have Badali Jewelry. They're super cool. They're the first ones who came and, they're yelling, let's yell for Badali. So I have a cool story about Badali. Back when I was nobody, Badali said, hey, can we make jewelry based on your books? And I was like, what? Why? I'm nobody. And they're like, well, we read them and we like them, so we just do jewelry on things. For a while, they were the only licensed creators of One Rings. You can go talk to them about that until the movies happened and things like that. Badali were the people, they noticed there are all sorts of knockoff One Rings, so they actually called the Tolkien estate and said, hey, can we make these for real? And they're like, wow, no one ever asked, they just make them. And so they made One Rings, they do stuff for Pat's books, they do stuff for my books, they're awesome, and they're just like super nerds who happen to make great jewelry, so it's really cool. All of your books that you will pick up in 15 minutes, all of those are pre-signed and numbered, okay? So what that means is, I sat and signed all 1,600 of them. So if you are like, I love you, Brandon, but I don't want to stay till 3 a.m., I am a normal person, and I have work tomorrow or something, you can take off and your book is already signed, and you're welcome to bring it back during another signing when it isn't starting at 10 p.m. In the past, these things have gone until like 5 a.m. So if you get your number, and it's a really high number, like it's in the 2000s, because they go up it's in the 4000s. There's 1,600 books, but they go to 4,000 because we saved some of the numbers for it's really complicated. But you can just like divide it by about 3 to find out how many people are ahead of you in line. So if you get your number and it's like 4,106, and you're like, I'll be here till 5 a.m. Do know your book is already signed. So you can go quickly get a few of the artist signatures, and then you can take off, and you can come back, and if you want it personalized later on, you can do that. But if you would rather, if you're insane, if you'd rather wait, then we will be here just personalizing books, and Isaac will be signing, and we'll be answering questions and things like that. Because I'm chatty, big surprise, it takes a little while. So I'm just going to warn you, you have been warned. All right, where's Adam? Adam, my assistant Adam. Clap for Adam! So Adam's going to be taking pictures. If you want a picture